Are you tired of feeling like you're striking out on first dates? Are you ready to finally learn the psychological tricks to make someone like you on the very first date? Look no further. In this video, we'll go over 8 proven psychological tips that will help you win over your date and leave a lasting impression. From showing genuine interest in the other person to displaying confident body language, these tips are sure to help you make a connection with your date and set the stage for a successful relationship. So, let's get started and learn how to make someone like you on the first date. Number 1. Show genuine interest in the other person. Showing genuine interest in the other person is a key psychological tip for making someone like you on the first date. This means actively listening to what they have to say and asking them questions about themselves. People love to talk about themselves, so showing interest in their thoughts, feelings, and experiences is a great way to engage them and make a connection. When asking questions, try to be open-ended and avoid yes or no questions, as these don't allow for much discussion. Instead, try asking questions that encourage the other person to share more about themselves, such as, "What do you enjoy doing in your free time?" or "What are your hobbies and interests?" By showing genuine interest in the other person, you're demonstrating that you value them and their thoughts and experiences, which can be very attractive to someone on a first date. Number 2. Be positive and optimistic. Being positive and optimistic is another psychological tip that can help you make someone like you on the first date. People are naturally drawn to those who are happy and positive, as they tend to be more enjoyable to be around. On a first date, it's important to present yourself in a positive light and focus on the good aspects of your life and personality. This doesn't mean that you should try to hide any negative feelings or problems you may be facing, but rather try to approach the situation with a positive attitude and focus on the potential for a good time and a positive outcome. There are a few different ways you can demonstrate positivity on a first date. Use positive language. Avoid using negative words or phrases, and try to focus on the positive aspects of your life and the things you enjoy. Show enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is contagious, so by showing excitement and passion for things you enjoy, you'll likely inspire the same feelings in your date. Be optimistic about the future. Even if you're not sure how the date will go, try to approach it with an optimistic mindset and have faith that things will work out for the best. By being positive and optimistic, you'll not only make yourself more likable, but you'll also create a more enjoyable and upbeat atmosphere for the date. 3. Be a good listener. Being a good listener is another important psychological tip for making someone like you on the first date. People appreciate it when others are interested in what they have to say and take the time to listen to them. On a first date, being a good listener can help you make a connection with the other person and show that you value them and their thoughts and feelings. There are a few key things to keep in mind when trying to be a good listener on a first date. Pay attention. Make eye contact and actively listen to what the other person is saying. Avoid distractions like checking your phone or looking around the room. Ask questions. Show that you're interested in what the other person is saying by asking follow-up questions or seeking clarification. Avoid interrupting. Let the other person finish speaking before jumping in with your own thoughts or opinions. By being a good listener, you'll show the other person that you're interested in them and what they have to say, which can go a long way in making a positive impression. 4. Be yourself. Being yourself is another key psychological tip for making someone like you on the first date. It's important to remember that you don't need to put on a show or try to be someone you're not in order to impress your date. In fact, trying to be someone you're not is likely to come across as inauthentic and may even turn your date off. Instead, it's important to just be yourself and let your true personality shine through. This means being honest about your interests, values, and goals, and being comfortable in your own skin. It's okay if you're not perfect or if you have quirks or imperfections. These are what make you unique and special. By being yourself, you'll show your date that you're genuine and authentic, which can be very attractive. It's also important to remember that if your date doesn't like you for who you really are, it's probably not a good match. So, don't be afraid to be yourself and let your true self shine through on the first date. 5. Display confident body language. Displaying confident body language is another psychological tip that can help you make someone like you on the first date. Your body language can communicate a lot about your personality and confidence level, and can have a big impact on how others perceive you. Here are a few tips for displaying confident body language on a first date. Make eye contact. Making eye contact shows that you're confident and engaged in the conversation. Sit up straight. Good posture can make you look and feel more confident. Use open body language. Avoid crossing your arms or legs, as this can come across as defensive. Instead, try to use open, welcoming body language by keeping your arms uncrossed and facing the other person. Use appropriate gestures. Use gestures to emphasize your points and show enthusiasm, but be sure to avoid using too many or exaggerated gestures, as this can come across as nervous or insincere. By displaying confident body language, you'll give the impression that you're self-assured and comfortable in your own skin, which can be very attractive to someone on a first date. 6. Show kindness and empathy. Showing kindness and empathy is another psychological tip that can help you make someone like you on the first date. People are naturally drawn to those who are understanding and compassionate, as these qualities show that you care about others and are capable of forming deep emotional connections. There are a few different ways you can demonstrate kindness and empathy on a first date. Be understanding. Try to see things from the other person's perspective and be understanding of their feelings and experiences. Show compassion. If the other person is going through a tough time or is upset about something, be supportive and offer words of encouragement or a shoulder to lean on. Be considerate. Think about the other person's needs and preferences, and try to do things that will make them feel comfortable and appreciated. By showing kindness and empathy, you'll demonstrate to your date that you're a caring and supportive person, which can be very attractive. 7. Use humor appropriately. Using humor appropriately is another psychological tip that can help you make someone like you on the first date. Humor can be a great way to break the ice and make a connection with someone, as it helps to relax the atmosphere and can make you more likable. However, it's important to use humor in a way that is appropriate and not offensive. Here are a few tips for using humor on a first date. Be aware of your audience. Make sure that your sense of humor aligns with the other person's and that they find your jokes funny. Don't try too hard. It's okay, if you're not a stand-up comedian, just be yourself and let your natural sense of humor shine through. Avoid offensive or inappropriate jokes. It's best to avoid making jokes that could be offensive or inappropriate, as these could turn the other person off or make them feel uncomfortable. Know when to stop. It's okay to use humor to break the ice, but be sure to also have meaningful conversations and show that you're interested in the other person. By using humor appropriately, you can add some levity to the conversation and make a positive impression on your date. Just be sure to use it in a way that is respectful and not offensive. Number 8. Be patient. Being patient is the final psychological tip that can help you make someone like you on the first date. Building rapport and connection with someone takes time, and it's important to be patient and let the relationship develop naturally. Here are a few tips for being patient on a first date. Don't try to force things. It's okay if you don't feel an instant connection with the other person, sometimes these things take time to develop. Be open to getting to know the other person. Take the time to learn about the other person's interests, values, and goals, and try to find common ground. Don't put pressure on the relationship. It's important to be patient and let the relationship develop at its own pace, without trying to rush things or force a deeper connection. By being patient and taking the time to get to know the other person, you'll be more likely to make a lasting connection and set the stage for a successful relationship. Using these 8 psychological tips can help you make someone like you on the first date and set the stage for a successful relationship. These tips can help you make a positive impression and build a connection with your date. So, next time you're going on a first date, keep these tips in mind and let your true self shine through. That marks the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one.